When we work, it's work. When we fun, it's fun. I show you next station.
Have I become a stereotype? It's a question that gnaws at me. When I look at my life, it can feel uncomfortably close to a cliche. And when I look at who's watching this channel, it seems I'm in good company. A lot of you are gentlemen of a certain vintage. It's a club with a lot of life experience. So be honest, how many of you ask yourself the same question? There are a million reasons to love life here, but when most people hear Western man moves to Thailand, their imagination usually drifts to one, maybe two, very specific ideas. As with most things, there's some truth in stereotypes, but the details for us as individuals is often not that simple. So for this day in the life vlog with a title like "Why Do Old Men Love Thailand?", I've hopefully pulled the pin on a grenade and gently rolled it into the comments section. I'm hoping for the usual mix of heartwarming, hilarious and bizarre stories, mixed with the incoherent rage from some bitter old farts that can't take a joke. But everyone is welcome. My day begins with one of the best times of year, the rice harvest. And looking at this, I've noticed that some of my own footage looks a little bit grainy. Looking at the YouTube stats, apparently half of you are watching this on an actual proper television. This trusty old iPhone may not be up to scratch anymore. The stunning Thai scenery deserves better than looking like it was filmed on a potato. So, I'm going to do what every YouTuber eventually does. I've started a Patreon. The aim is to invest in a proper camera and audio gear to make these videos as good as they can be on your massive tellies. And for those moments when I actually talk to camera, you can see my face in distressingly high definition. If you get some joy or value out of these little films and want to help me make them even better, there's a link down in the description. It would be genuinely massively appreciated. Awkward part over, back to the farm. There's a recognisable smell to the rice harvest, raw diesel fumes mixed with the sweet scent of success, telling you a season of hard labour is finally paying off. That glorious smell is accompanied by the sound of this magnificent beast, chewing its way through the landscape. There aren't many of these machines left, so there's a waiting list, and the harvest is a frantic race against the clock. On grey, overcast days, any potential storm is a worry. Soaking wet rice collapsed into waterlogged fields is much harder to harvest and worth a lot less money. So for a few intense weeks, small crews like this go from field to field, working long into the night until the job is finally done. This wonderful display of man and machine would give a UK safety inspector a full-blown aneurysm. It's the kind of thing that often gets some expats misty-eyed for the good old days back west, before the fun was squeezed out by risk assessment forms in triplicate, before it's bloody political correctness gone mad. Speaking of which, I wonder if I can hop on that harvester whilst it's still moving, wearing flip-flops. Yes, of course I can. I do believe in the importance of health and safety regulations. The fact that wearing a motorcycle helmet here is often seen as a polite suggestion should be fixed. But as I hang precariously over these giant spinning blades, almost soiling myself as a sudden shift into reverse nearly launches me into that, a question emerges. At what point are government regulations invasive, and when are they just protecting people against their own stupidity? It's a fine balance, but there is an undeniable sense of freedom out here, the freedom to make your own questionable decisions, even if they might very well be your last. It's a thrill that, for better or worse, just keeps life feeling a little less laminated. You'll have to imagine the big stupid grin on my face whilst filming this. That is one advantage of filming on a phone. I can hold it in one hand while the other maintains a white-knuckle death grip on a metal railing, the only thing preventing me from being processed into human mulch. Although, that extra organic matter would probably improve next year's yield. Pros and cons. Where are you going?
So you go take a shower and then go with me. Now, I see you in the car, okay?
Okay. As day turns to night, so does the familiar Thai transition from hard labour to hard partying. The harvest is done, the fields are empty, and for the next few months, Mor Lam concerts will be erupting all over the region.
Come.
Where are we going?
day trip. Somewhere around here, my friend is the singer Morlam, Thailand called Morlam.
We're heading to one tonight, partly for the fun of it, but mostly because X is on a mission for her uncle Tawan, who recently passed away. The funeral was a few weeks ago. Now it's time to plan the party.
Hello. ไปจ้างมาลามจ้างมาลามเฮ็ดบุญแล้ว So now we just drive to meet my friend. He working in Morlam. I will go talk to him. He have free time in that day. I need to stop in a Carlton farm to pick up him also and go visit them and see what happened.
Organising an event like this isn't a small affair. You've got a procession of drummers for the daytime, enough food and drink to feed a small army, and a full Mor Lam Concert for the night. All in all, Uncle Tawan's son, Pitung, will probably spend over 50,000 baht. It's a huge expense, but the spirit of it reminds me of a traditional Irish wake. A raucous party to celebrate a life well lived. A final glorious send-off into whatever comes next.
Some people they think, oh, why you spend money to do this thing, but you not keep the money. We not have that much chance to do that thing, to got good memory, because before we are sad already, you know, we lose some people, we are sad already. So the last time we will do for him, want to be send him to the heaven, happiness. Life next world. Isaan said Kon la Thanon, Kon la way.
What, after you die?
Yeah. เขาจะไปทางของเขาเราก็ยังอยู่ที่ของเราอย่างนี้ไง
Kon la Thanon, literally one road per person. It's a powerful idea in a world that's constantly trying to tell you which road you're supposed to be on. After this final party for his dad, Pitung will ordain as a monk for 15 days. A final act of merit-making for whatever road Uncle Tawan is now on. But before all that spiritual business, there's a party to organise, and X, the Minister for Morale, is in charge of making sure it's a legendary one.
If some people they wanna have some another question to ask me about Isaan people, about life of Isaan style, dangerous thing, funny thing, or crazy thing.
Tonight is essentially the audition, a little preview of the chaos to come. These smaller Mor Lam concerts aren't ticketed events, they're for anyone from the local area to enjoy. So if you keep your finger on the pulse, or even better, have contacts behind the scenes, then at this time of year, you're never far from a party to gatecrash. And nobody seems to mind. It's not like I blend in particularly well, so I can't exactly say something like, yeah, I'm Bob's brother's mate. So, considering I've never once had a problem, I assume it's fine to just turn up unannounced. We use our backstage pass to talk with one of the singers. He's got the strutting confidence of an 80s glam rock peacock, and within 10 minutes, business is done. He's not only agreed to play at Uncle Tawan's event, but he's also completely waived his own fee. X manages to haggle a good discount on the rest of the sound and light rig. This party is gonna be legendary. Ooh, look at that setup. No grainy footage here, not even in the dead of night. Look at the size of that lens. Blimey, that's got to be at least 6 inches. How can I be in a tiny rural village in the middle of nowhere and still come down with a case of lens envy? This isn't how the stereotype works. I'm the Farang. I'm supposed to have the biggest equipment. Now I just feel inadequate. Right, focus, stay on topic. Back to that big, awkward question. Why do old men love Thailand? The cynical answer, the one the haters love, is that it's all just a simple, grubby transaction. The stereotype paints a picture of a man who feels invisible back home, past his prime, maybe nursing a divorce and a dwindling bank account. So he comes here, a place where his pension suddenly makes him a somebody, and he can find a kind of companionship, sometimes with a much younger woman, for one last dance before the final curtain call.
1, 2, 3.
It's a trade, right? Financial security for youth and care. and to pretend that economic and social imbalance doesn't sometimes play a part in the story would be just as dishonest as the fairy tale. And back to my own question, am I a stereotype? Well, on the surface, I'm a walking, talking cliche. Middle-aged white guy from the UK, out here.
Who would like to have girlfriend or wife in Isaan? You must be crazy and fun. And be careful. And be careful if your girlfriend or wife know Morlam is friend. You will not go back home, ka. See you, ka. Next station.
As the night continues to an even bigger event, I'm told that this singer is something of a celebrity, and X is a huge fan. With millions of followers online, here she is performing on a bus. I can't imagine a scenario in the UK where you get to just walk up to the stage whilst your favourite singer is performing, pass them your phone and ask them to take a selfie with you. Amazing Thailand. I would like to make more videos about culture, community and sustainability, but I'm always acutely aware of this giant elephant in the room. Every time a video does well, it inevitably lands me in the crosshairs of a specific stereotype that probably gets mocked the most. The world will always try to shove you into a box. Maybe for some, it's the lonely old expat box. For me, it's the clueless Farang with an extra label for good measure. We've all got a stereotype to carry around. My joking back at the audience is probably a bit of attack is the best form of defence. But real freedom begins when I stop trying to prove the haters wrong, when I just stop caring. Screw 'em. In a day where I got to ride on a death machine, party with an entire village, and take selfies with a celebrity, somehow none of these were my favourite part. When we returned home, X asked, "Do you want to see a butterfly?" She knows me well. The surest way to my heart is by pointing at a weird bug.
This worm is bigger than the cat.
So we went for a little walk.
There's a worm bigger than the cat. It's a big worm. Like really big.
Moo Ming. Hey, leave it alone.
Come on.
There's a proper permaculture-y way to manage a banana plant. A neat little production line of one mature, one medium and one new sucker. Very sensible. Supposedly it means more bananas. But I've been busy, or possibly just lazy, and some of these plants have just been left to their own devices, running a bit wild. Turns out, neglect has its own unexpected yield. Look at all of these, dozens of cocoons of the golden birdwing butterfly, wrapped in the leaves of a plant I'm told I should have managed better, and the nerd in me gets a real kick out of this. Beyond being beautiful, butterflies are what's called an ecological indicator. They are sensitive to pollution and habitat loss, so a healthy population reflects the overall health of an environment, much more than the size of your banana. These cocoons are a sign that this mad project might actually be working. The land is getting healthier, and to be able to watch it all unfold and be a part of it is a feeling that's much harder to pin down. A project like this, back in the UK, would have just been a pipe dream, buried under astronomical costs and a mountain of planning permits before you'd even bought a spade. Another one for the what if pile. I imagine a lot of what ifs if I'd stayed in the UK. I see an alternate version of myself in England, past my prime, maybe nursing a divorce and a dwindling bank account. A man quietly being erased by time, his world shrinking with every passing year. Instead, I'm here, in a fairy tale land filled with butterflies. Ooh, did I just say that out loud? A fairy tale land filled with butterflies? That's a bit much. Well, if you're going to be seen as a cliche, you might as well lean into it. I don't care. I love Thailand because it makes me feel alive. It's why I just got back from filming with the Permaculture team in Bangkok, and why I have weeks of editing ahead of me.
You want to start with me or with you?
You.
It's also why I decided to knock out a quick, light-hearted, day-in-the-life vlog about prejudice and the bittersweet tragedy of life and death. If you want to follow the twists and turns of these bigger stories, there are two ways you can help. Firstly, just leave a comment, say hi, and if you're feeling brave, share an honest story of your own. The beauty of nature is in its diversity, and the same goes for us. The other way is Patreon. Your support there helps me invest the time and gear to do justice to these stories. And with the inevitable life cycle in mind, if you do sign up, maybe use your wife's credit card. That way, when the final curtain call eventually comes for you, the support keeps rolling in. If you're still around, see you next time.